the things, although we are exactly we ourselves, because no doubt at all. However, things is, although we are exactly we ourselves, but we don't know much about our true self. This is the most miserable thing. So we have to figure out who we are, what the true ourselves is. This is the most important thing for us to do. See, it's very miserable. Although we are ourselves, exactly ourselves, but we don't know much about who we are, what the truth to ourselves is. So, when the Bodhidharma just came to China from India, at that time the Liu regime, and then emperor just want to just meet Bodhidharma. Then he just invited him to his palace, and he just want to ask him so many questions. Although he just asks many questions, but the answer is so much different from what the emperor expected to hear. So eventually, finally, the emperor just asked Bodhidharma, who are you? See, this is the most important thing. The question, who are you? The answer is, as I just mentioned before, I never be able to aware of who I am, what I'm doing right now, where I am right now. This is the true ourselves. This is the true ourselves. So these things, this is entirely different from what we just thinking about ourselves. That's the reason Shakyamuni Buddha or the patriarchs who just realized the truth. They recommend us to do Zazen. Last month, Zazen is so important for us to do. Otherwise, we never able to just realize who we are. Only Zazen you'll be able to just realize who you are. That's the reason we are just doing the practice of the Zazen in order to just realize who we are. See, this is a very important thing, what we have to do. So recently, the Master Gien, who just realized exactly same what the Shakyamuni Buddha just realized. Then he just taught us how we'll be able to just realize who is Zazen. So today, this is the collection of his saying. So today, I would like to mention about 12. Let me see. Where is my glasses? Okay. So today is number 12. Is that all right? Shuhei-san, number 12? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, no.
Yes.
Zenki-san. Okay. So I would like to just mention about number 12, not thinking. Not thinking. learn by the reality. What it is when I face, as I just as I always mention about, something like when I just face this, then I just become this. This is not thinking. This is a way of learn learn by the reality or learn by truth. See, this practice we have to do. See, just face to this. I just face this. I automatically, simultaneously, without doing anything, I just become this. Why? Why I have to? Why I have to become this? See, when I face this, I just become this. Then when I face this, these things totally just disappeared, and these things come up and they become, I just become this. This is very strange and wondrous matter, but unfortunately, people never notice this. And this is a total problem. See, when I face this, how many changes just happen? Then each changing, I just totally become exactly what I faced. Then this is a completely separate from what I just become. Then I just became this. See, why do we have to become this? This is a most important question for us to figure out or just solve. You see, very simple, very simple, but the most difficult things for people just take care of thinking or the thoughts. You see, very simple. When I face this, you just become this. When you face this, you just become this. Why do we have to become this? See, as long as people just taking care of the thinking or thought quite much, you see, there is no question at all. There is no question at all. Why? Because you see, there's people who just taking care of the thinking or the thought is just completely separate from this one and this. Complete separation between this and this. That's the reason. That's the reason people who care much about the thinking or thought never question, never have a question this. See, because of complete separation between this one and this one and this. But the more you just sincerely just do zazen, the more you just become this itself. This is zazen. This zazen, I would like to just recommend you to do. This zazen. Only this zazen you'll be able to just realize what it is. Okay, so what's the master Gian just mentioned about how to do zazen? What's the truth is? Who we are with number 12, not thinking, learn by the reality. So what he just teach us is, you hear the sound of the television set. See? Oh. When I just clap my hand, you just become the sound of this sound. as I just mentioned, why you have to just become this sound itself? You see, it's very strange, but very marvelous. See, without doing, you just become this sound itself. See, this thing, Shaka Buddha just they realized the first person who just realized this reality, this fact, this truth. You see, this why you have to become this sound, this activity, this action. Only this action is just exist, What is the people just thinking about this and that? That kind of movement or activity or action never exists at all. Those things just exist. Only the people's thinking, or people's thinking or thought. Nothing exists at all. The only just only just the existence of the truth is this action, this movement. Then everything is already everything will be able to be done with this, without doing anything. You see, only this movement, so that with this movement or this activity, see, there is no one, but there is a kind of a person who just who we just thinking about ourselves, never they exist, never inside or never intervene. Only this movement. Then everything will be able to be done without anything. This is a Dharma. This is a Dharma. Dharma is our true self. These things we have to just realize them. What we are thinking about ourselves is completely different from our true self. Completely different from the Dharma. Hi. So you hear the sound of the television set. That exists where you are now. Just come out and disappear. At the same time. See what people say. What people just thinking always. Because the Jinen just clap my hand, well, clap his hand, the sound come out and then disappear. See, two things happen. Cause and the effect, cause and the result are different. See, because this, and then because this cause, and then this result just happen. Two things. But as far as our true self, or as far as the truth of the universe is coming up is a disappearing. Coming up is a disappearing. The same, exactly same. Coming up is a disappearing. So it's a totally impossible to recognize or understand what I say. Always one thing. Always one thing. Never just happen. Two things never happen. But we were thinking, but thinking also just two or three things or more just happen. That's the reason you're gonna just have a confusion. You're gonna have a confusion. See, two or three or four things just happen at the same time in thinking. But fortunately, our true self is just have only one thing. So never, we never just confuse all the one. This. You see, it never happen. Before and after. Never happen exactly the same as it is. Exactly always. Exactly the same as it is. So never confuse. Never confuse at all. But in way of thinking, work, the concept, 2 or 3 or 4 things just happen. So that we just select, or we just compare, and we try to select the most, whatever. That's cause you trouble. I mean, these things we are doing. This is a cause of cause us trouble, question, problem. See, but see, our true self is never just confused, because always as it is, as it is, as it. There is no comparison at all, because always as it is, one thing. That's our true self. Without doing anything, it can be hard. That is not thinking. Without doing, you never just try to hear it, or try to just understand it. So, or try not to just hear it. But when it just directly just become this sound. Why? This is the most important thing. For the solving who we are, what the true self is. Very simple, very simple. The people just take care of the thinking also quite much. Never understand even a concept. He never understand what. But that's your true self. That's your true self. Not this. So when it just become this. So becoming this is our true self. Never confused. Okay. Regardless of your thinking, the sound doesn't appear by thinking. This sound never care much about the thinking at all. See, never concern the thinking or the sound. See, you just directly become this sound. Then you just recognize this. Then this sound and you just separate it. Then you just record, oh, that's the sound. That's later. Before recognition, or before the consent, okay. Before recognition, you just become this. Then you just recognize this sound, and then, oh, Jinen just clapped his hand, then sound come out. The you and this sound completely separate, divided. This is later. See, before recognition, you just become this sound itself. That is our true self. It's very hard to understand what I say even in concept, but this is the most valuable thing for us to do them, because entirely we don't know much about who we are or what the true self is. Entirely different. Only Shakyamuni Buddha, the first human being, first these things. See, It's very hard. It's very hard to just even recognize this in the concept. But he has done it. He has done it. Very fortunate. Very fortunate. Okay. Now you live on. Now you live on recognizing yourself and recognizing the others. After recognition, the things being recognized, and the person who just recognized, completely divided, completely separated by recognition, function of recognition. Then people just recognize, oh, that is other. This is the self. This is others. Completely separation. See, only this stage or circumstance, we can just understand with thinking or thought. But that is another truth. That is another reality. See, reality of truth is before recognition. There is no separation. There is no separation between that and this. This is truth. This is the fact. But even in concept, it's very hard. What it is. But the thing is just, I just mentioned it to yourself. Never understand what I just mentioned about the separation between the self and the others. This is a normal or ordinary other people just recognize or notice as true ourselves. But this is not a truth. This is entirely different. Regardless you are thinking, the sound doesn't appear by thinking. Before thinking, before recognition, just sound, we just become sound itself. This is the truth. Then you just recognize this reality, this truth. Then the things, as I just mentioned before, the things being recognized, and the self who just recognized is completely separated. See? This is a completely separation. This separation does happen by your way of thinking. And we just completely deceive the food by our thinking and thought. That is not true. The truth is before recognition. So how you can just recognize this truth? This is Zazen. This is Zazen. Only Zazen you will be able to just realize this truth. So that Shakyamuni Buddha or patriarchs just recommend us to do Zazen. Only Zazen you'll be able to just realize this fact, this truth. And this is the most important thing for human being, because we are completely deceived or fooled by our thinking or thought. That's the reason we have to do it. If you just completely satisfied, you want to just completely satisfy with your present situation, your present self, you have to do it. See, then you'll be able to just completely satisfy with yourself. and then you feel completely ease with yourself. This is the most valuable thing. And none of others. The more you just do, the more you confuse. The more you just have a trouble. So that these things, it's very recommendable to do. If you study a little more truly, this is Zazen. Master again never just recommend you to study the intellectual matter. Just study yourself. Study yourself is Zazen. See? The more you, as I just mentioned, the more you just sincerely just do Zazen, the more you just become right now, right here. This is Zazen. See? There is no separation between this and that. See? They naturally you just become it. Although without Zazen, you already become this. But if I just say so, you never just understand, you never accept what I say. So that's the reason we have to do a Zazen. Then, as I just mentioned, the more you just do Zazen, the more you just become this. So this thing. Without doubt, without question. See? That's the reason Zazen is very important. So, if you study a little more truly, if you just do a Zazen, you will come to know that there is a life without others world. See, this is a very, very variable thing. See, what no ordinary people just think about, that is others, that is the self, ourself. As long as people just have this idea, this the thinking, there is so many fighting, so many conflict. See, then once the more just what you thinking about others just disappear. So the more you feel very peaceful. You feel very peaceful because there is no others. So you don't need to fight with others. You know? So the more what you think about others just they disappeared. The more what you think about self also disappeared. So eventually what's happening is there is no one else. There is no one else. Right now, there is no one else. There's the only things just are left. The only just things that remain is as it is. This is the truth. This is reality. This is entirely different from what people just think about reality or the truth. Truth is no one else. No one else. The others or the self. It's completely disappeared. Oh, this is the most valuable thing to do, though. So you will come to know that there is a life without others. By touching the fact of being now, the others would get to disappear. Oh, That's much doesn't is totally valuable, totally important for us to do. You never just say imagine. You never be able to imagine what's just the Master Gien just mentioned or told. See, this is our truth. See, no one else. There is no one else. Then only movement or activity, action, just that, those or this activity or this action without the self, without self, without what we think about ourselves, just activity, eating, hearing, seeing, speaking, feeling, without the self, without what we thinking about self, ourselves. This activity. Then you recognize this truth. Then the things is separate between the others and the self. Two things, at least. This is the creation. This is the creation of the thinking of a thought. That is another truth. Okay, the function between five senses and surrounding inevitably does magnificent working, exceeding thinking. So what we are doing right now is, see, the person who a person who just speaking, and the person the person who just is hearing or listening, without person, just everything just happening. Everything is just doing right now. Without person, without the self. Can you just imagine? Can you imagine this? The only Shakyamuni Buddha, first person who just realized this. Then, as I just already mentioned about it, when he just realized this, he never came down the place where just people just living, because he thought, even he just tried to just teach the people. People never understand, because he knew much about before he just recognized this. Even that condition, he just listened to this one. He never be understand what just the people, the person just told. He knew that, so that he never just came down to the place. But later, his disciples just come up to the place where just Shakyamuni was just there. Then they ask him what he just realized. How many times? Many times the people just ask him, taught us what he just realized, but he just refused. He just refused it because he knew it. Even he just tried to just teach what he just realized. They never understand what he just realized. This much, see, this much what he just realized is completely different from the thinking or thought. But so many times the people just ask him. So he decided to just teach. Then he just taught them. So some of them just understand what he just mentioned about. Then he was just encouraged to teach, because some of them just understand, even a concept, they just understand what he just realized. So that he just was so encouraged to just teach. And this is the reason. Now we'll be able to just realize what he just realized. If he just refused the offer, so what he just realized never left at all. But fortunately, some of them just understood what he just realized in concept. Then he just tried to just teach what he just realized for 49 years. And then India and China and Japan. Now maybe only Japan. This reality, this fact still remains. So, but that is not a concern with the nationality or the race. You just try to do it. That's enough. So that you'll be able to just realize what the Shakyamuni Buddha just realized. That is our truth. That truth is entirely different from what we just thinking about ourselves. The function between five senses and surrounding inevitably does magnificent working, exceeding thinking without thinking. We have everything is already, everything is doing, and everything just have done without person, without what people thinking about the person or the self, without. This function arises action endlessly. See? This activity or action is another activity concerning the what we thinking about the self. This activity or this action is a universal activity action. That's reason endless, never finished, never ended. See, what you know much about Zen Master Dogen? He just described a very famous description named Fukanzazen, the universal recommendation for setting. With it, he just the first at the beginning, what he just mentioned about, if you try to find out what the way is, what our true self is, what the true self is, you will be, you find it to be universal and complete. This is our truth. Universal and complete. See? What the Zen Master Dogen realizes this. Our activity or our existence itself is universal and complete. It's entirely different from what just people thinking about ourselves. Entirely different. That's the reason we have to do it. We have to just figure out what the true self is. That's entirely different. This function arises action, this function arises, action endlessly, because universal activity or action. Because of a universal activity or action. Now the acting itself, being in the state that you are taught by the acting itself, so that if you just realize this truth, you never just try to figure out. You never be just be taught by detailed intellectual understanding, knowledge of the kinds of reason. You just throw them away. Just whenever just face this, you just become this. Whenever you just face this, this activity, this reality. You have to just learn the true yourself by this activity, this action. See, not try to just understand, oh no, figure out who you are by thinking. Thinking is not true. Thinking is not true, as I just mentioned about. What the thinking is after recognition. See, you just recognize the truth. Then the things is the other things being recognized, and the person who just recognized is separated, divided by thinking. This is not a truth. The truth is when you just face it, you just simply become this. This is the truth. This is our truth. Then recognize this and the kind of separation. Then that and this one, the completely divided. See, this is a way of thinking. This way of thinking is totally is totally not the fact or truth. Truth is before recognition. Truth is before recognition. See, you just simply become everything you face to. This is a truth. This is a reality. So, yes. Being in the state that you are taught by the acting itself. See, acting is never just try to figure out by intellectual understanding or the thinking or thought. That is another truth. Every single thing has vanished. You become one with things completely as you know nothing. You are living without knowing. To have it. Oh, is this the things I'm just reading? Oh, yes. Okay. As you know nothing, you are living without knowing to have become. See, because once you just become one is become itself. See, because you just become itself never, it's not necessary to just recognize what it is, because of itself, it's not necessary to just recognize or to know what it is, because of itself. But and it's also impossible to know what it is because of itself. You see? So we don't need the intellectual understanding them. See? Simply just become itself. So that it's necessary for us to know to understand what it is. Because of itself, we just become itself. No separation at all. So, in another word, we don't know much of it. We never be aware of it. We never be able to aware of who we are, what we are doing, where we are, because of itself. That's the reason. That's the reason. If you really wanna just even if you really wanna just understand what I'm saying, what I'm just saying, even concept, at the first step, you just do that. Otherwise, even you never be understand what I'm saying, even in a concept. Then if you can just understand, if you can understand what I'm saying, or what Master Gien just mentioned, then you'll be able to just do that. Oh, that kind of things is our true self. So we have to just do that. Otherwise, it's impossible for us to just realize that. Then you'll be able to do that. Otherwise, it's impossible to do that. So that at the first step, you may just understand what our true self in concept or in thinking. Then you'll be able to do that. Otherwise, no one just wanna do that. You are living without knowing to have become one. This is a very important thing right now. We don't know much about what we are doing right now, but without awareness, we are completely just doing, acting as it is. No separation at all. No separation. Activity, action itself. No separation. So you never be able to just aware of it because it's actually same thing. So that there is no question, no problem, no trouble at all, because you don't know much about what you are doing. See, because you know much about what you are doing, that's cause you trouble. Because you know much about what you are doing, that's cause you trouble. If you don't know much about what you are doing, no question, no trouble, no problem at all. Very simple. Our activity, our action is without awareness. We don't know much about what we are doing right now. No question at all. No trouble at all. Because we don't know much about what we are doing. Very simple. On such situation, you can get the true aspect by the dependent on arising without intention. If your thinking or thought completely ceased, completely disappears, then these things just left. Only this thing remains without what you are thinking about the self, what you are thinking about the things. None of those things never just alive, never exist, only this. So you never be able to recognize these things. But things just happen. You recognize this sound. Then this sound, as long as you just recognize this sound, you have to just admit, accept these things. The things being recognized and the self recognized. Both of them just happen. Otherwise, you never be able to recognize that sound, this thing. So before you recognize this one never exists. Once you recognize this, they're all the same, almost same time, you just recognize this. Then kind of a person, you just think about ourselves, just come out. Before you recognize this one never existed at all. Then you'll be able to just, you'll be able to have a kind of liberation or realization what the truth is, who we are. This is that. This is that we would like to just recommend you to do. Having seen the shape of things, to be attached to it becomes the cause to arise doubt in the mind. Because you just recognize this, you recognize this, then you just recognize what it is. But that is not true. It's just come out in your eyes without any reason. Just shape or figure just come out without substance. And entity and without entity. See, but once you recognize this, you just recognize or admit or accept this entity, substance itself. This is a totally misunderstanding. You see, only shape or only figure does come out. When you just watch the TV, so many things come out. So many things coming out. Oh, that's that. But then you just switch off. Nothing left. Nothing left. Just simply coming out in your eyes, in your other ear. See? No substance at all. No entity at all. Only just come out, kind of thing, without substance, without entity. Nothing is no problem at all. You never stick on that kind of a thing. See? Because you just admit or accept the entity or the substance of the things come out in your eyes. Then you just keep it this, and then just throw it away. This kind of selection just happens. So without this kind of thinking, we never stick in or sticking on anything. The function is working The function is working purely as a functioning. Just this has come out, just come in your ears is this function, the function of the ears, the function of the ears just works as it is. That's it. Without what the people thinking about the self, just simply work. Simply work as it is, as function is, as function, without self. To be attached to become the cause to arise doubt in the mind. On seeing the shape of a thing, when attachment to it does not arise, this discriminating mind does not appear. See, discriminating the mind is like or dislike or good or bad, or, because you never just stick in the thinking or a thought. This kind of discrimination or discriminating mind never happen, never come up. Enlightenment. So this is the thing. Enlightenment is to see the true nature and apart from the discretion. Enlightenment is to see the true nature and apart from the discretion. So what enlightenment? What's enlightenment? Just accept everything we face to without any doubt, any question. This is enlightenment. Accept. Just we will be able to just accept everything, any kind of condition, any kind of circumstance. We just simply accept without doubt, trouble, question. This is enlightenment. So, see, we are just doing this way though. Any moment, every time, we just do. Then, this circumstance, this condition, we just recognize it. Then, what's happening in the separation? See, this is another truth. See, when you just face this, you just accept the things as it is. So when you face this, you accept the things as it is. See? This is the first. This is the first. Then you just recognize this. Then separate between that and this. This is a lake. This kind of trap. We don't know much about it. This is trick. This is the thing. This is a trick over this way of thinking. Was thought. That is not a truth. Truth is when you're faced to, we just accept the things as it is. We just face to this kind of movement, this kind of activity. We have always done it. We are always doing them. People now they know everything. Yes, we know much about lots of things. Yes, but we don't deny it. But the things is what they don't know themselves. This is a whole problem. Other people, we know much about lots of things, but we don't know much about ourselves. This is very strange. The most miserable thing for life, most miserable. And we know much about lots of things, but we don't know much about our true self. Zen is an important Japanese spiritual culture to know oneself. Not only the Japanese, but universal matters. See, to know, to realize who we are. This is Zen. This is Zazen. Only Zazen. You'll be able to just realize to yourself. See, that's reason. That's the reason Shakyamuni Buddha or the patriarchs just recommend us to do Zazen. See, only Zazen. You'll be able to understand who you are. That what the true ourselves. What the true ourselves is entirely different from what the people thinking about the self. Entirely. That's it. That's what the master Dogi mentioned about. When you just realize our true self, it is universal is complete. It's entirely different from what we just thinking about ourselves. That's the reason this is the most valuable thing for us to do. Hi. Today's Shuhei-san will be all right.
Yes.
What time? Oh, 10. Yeah. So time is over.
Good time.
Okay. So one more thing I would like to just wanna ask you is whatever the question come up in your mind, please just send an email. You see, this is many times I just mentioned about what Zazen, what Zen is. It's a very, or our thinking or thought is a very sensitive. So that if you just understand what I just say, what Master Gien say with thinking, see, it's not a true understanding. You just understand. You just understand with understanding, intellectual understanding. That is analysis, so that you just check it. And this is the things what you just mentioned. This is the things what you mentioned. Otherwise, you are completely deceived by what I said. So this checking, this is the things you just mentioned about. This is the things you just. This checking, asking. I would like to just what are you to do? Hi.